The reigning monarch, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, will commemorate her 90th birthday on 21st April 2016. The Virgin Islands also recognized the 50th anniversary of Her Majesty's first visit to the territory on 23rd February 2016. Fond memories exist from the people of this territory who witnessed the 1966 visit. The Office of the Deputy Governor was able to dialogue with a few persons who vividly recall their memories of that experience, and today will share their story as part 2 of a 3-part feature on the 1966 visit. Mrs. Eileene L. Parsons, OBE, from her recollection, was living in the United States Virgin Islands, having previously served as a teacher in the British Virgin Islands, when she was invited back to the territory to attend the royal reception on board the royal yacht, Britannia.
My memories might be sketchy, but I do know I was living in St. Thomas, and I still wonder how come I, being away from here, was invited, but I got an invitation. And of course, I got my lovely dress together. I was told it would be for the cocktail party aboard the Britannia. The Britannia was boated at Port Purcell, and the people were going on. I remember both sides of the wharf you had to pass through, and both sides were lined with people looking to see who all were going aboard the Britannia. And of course, there were comments on how you were dressed and that sort of thing, you know. So, but a lot of the young men that had lined the street, and you went aboard, and there was this cocktail party, great big hall aboard the Britannia. And the lovely thing is that the Queen and her husband were in the reception line, and you were told that you had to curtsy. BB Islanders ain't done nothing but curtsy, but you were told that you had to at least bend your knee when you didn't look Her Majesty in the eye. You give the reverence of shaking her hand, but your head and your knee were bent, and then you shook the hand of the Duke and the other people who were in the reception line, and you went in, and of course, you know, everybody was mixing and mingling. And I think, I'm not sure, that we had a tour of the Britannia. You know, the public rooms, certainly not the bedroom, public areas. You mix and you mingle with your own people, and you talk and so forth. And the Queen also did her mixing and mingling. Of course, she had on her gloves, and you had yours too. And you talk about the visit. And I remember there was a little incident of one lady, whether she got lost in the size and couldn't find her way out. When it was time for all of us to leave the Britannia and we had left, it was discovered that this lady wasn't among the crowd who had left, and of course people had to go back on to find her, and she was found somewhere in one of the places where she didn't have a call bean, and they managed to get her out and get her off the boat. But personally, and I'm saying very personally, I am looking forward for the parade and whatever else would happen on the festival grounds, because I think it is something for somebody to be 90 years old.
Miss Parsons shared the pride she felt to be British.
To me, at this stage of my life, it means the beauty of a tradition that goes back several centuries, a tradition that is longer than America is old. Yes, my roots are grounded somewhere on the African continent. I know not where. Maybe I am not interested in knowing where. But as far as I am concerned, I love, I honestly love to hear God Save the Queen. And I know as a child, we used to say, long may she reign to make us suffer. but there's, you know how children are. And I remember singing, coming in from West End, where I started school. Me and Cyril Romney used to come in to represent the school for Empire Day. And now that I am grown and I look back, I am saying that they selected me and Cyril because of our color. There was a time when hair was real racist and fair skin meant something. Anyway, we came in. And I remember holding my little flag and singing my little heart out, rule Britannia, Britannia rule. That's something all you don't know. For you all no longer sing. We have gotten away from the tradition. But we used to sing rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. And you would say, children of the empire, we are brothers all. And it used to give you a sense of pride to say, the sun never set on the British Empire. That no longer holds good because the British Empire now is a little tiny thing. But in my childhood, the British Empire extended the whole of Canada, the whole of India, Australia, New Zealand, as far as the sun roamed from rising to setting, was the British Empire. When it went down on us, it rose on something in the east, and almost all, and you wonder how this little island they could have ruled the way it did.
Ms. Parsons explains the high esteem in which she holds the British tradition.
It was exuberant. That's the only word. You know what it means? That little we, Her Majesty is coming here. But that was how people were then. We were not so educated that we wanted something else. At that time, people were proud. You were bursting with pride. Let me tell you something. The school children lined the street with their flag waving. They paint up the place. The jail were painted up nice and white. The whole of Main Street took on a brand new look. Because the Queen was coming, and you reverence the Queen. It isn't now that we get so bright that we I don't know, we don't want to hold anything in some sort of word. Why, I don't know. And personally, we don't have anything to fall back on, you know. We don't have a thing. Yes, we could put our hand on more than $10 and so forth, but it still doesn't take away the fact that we still should have some kind of reverence for where we were, thankful that where we are, but still we have to come from somewhere. And I don't want to tell me it is Africa. Not me. Yes, my ancestors were from there, from where, I don't know. And at this stage of my development, I don't know if I even want to know. I am a British Virgin Islander. First, last, foremost. I'm a British Virgin Islander. I ain't studying the people them who saying we shouldn't be saying British. We have to differentiate between the two sets of Virgin Islands. And we are British.
Thank you for viewing this special presentation highlighting the 1966 visit of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Join us next time when we'll hear about the glee and excitement from the second person to present a bouquet to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
So I felt, really special. And I got my ride and I came down to town. And to wait, you had your flag and I had this bouquet. Oh Lord, I nearly died. I was so nervous. I remember there were lots of people there.
The reigning monarch, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, commemorated her 90th birthday on 21st April 2016.